Previously on Tamed M's.
I've done as you asked. I have the enchanted petal. I've taken the dimensional energy from your petal, infused it with your memory essence, and stuffed this potato with it. I think I'm starting to remember something. I was born a citizen of a vast empire spanning across the multiverse. We were known as the Bug Keepers. The empire eventually fell because I can't remember. That appears to be all of the energy that Potato had for memory recovering. You must get a bucket of eternal fluid from Limbo. Limbo? Isn't that place known to corrupt those who enter? Yes, which is why I give you the chronometer of the bug. It contains a very small amount of my power and will prevent limbo entities from corrupting you. Must surrender mind. By the power of time, you shall not claim this soul. Now be gone. What? Huh? Oh dear. Guess that must have been one of the limbo entities the clockwork bugs spoke of. I think that takes care of all of our needs for this stuff. Now all that's left to do is to exit. I have the eternal fluid. Excellent. I trust you remember what you must do now. Yes. I put the eternal fluid here. And I take the spud from here. You are correct. You may now consume the spud. Okay, snack time. Yum. I am remembering something new. I was an important bug-keeper scientist that had been tasked with researching a new threat to the multiverse and possible ways to contain or destroy it. We didn't know it at the time, but this substance would eventually threaten all we had worked so hard to maintain and destroy our way of life. And that seems to be all I got from that potato. We appear to be on schedule for now. Let's try to keep this up. Next thing I need is to extract some energy from this dimension. The crops of this realm should contain enough, but I will require a lot of them. 16 bowls of the dish known as stuffed pumpkin should do it. 16 bowls? That will take forever. I recommend you build a mechanical farm to speed up your harvest. Make haste and may time be on your side. Hi, Bug9 here. As you just saw, today we will be making a feast fit for a bug guardian. Which is great because I already wanted a kitchen. I will take the clockwork bug's suggestion and build an automatic farm for the crops we will need. Let's go find a place to put it now. Thinking about where it might fit in our base, I think I already have kind of an idea of where to put this. That would be... yeah. Here, roughly. Yeah, and if I had like a kitchen back here and a restaurant area attached kind of over there, then I could have the crops just flow from a farm roughly in this general area into a kitchen over here. And have like a food type area and the restaurant type thing over here on the side. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move this farm and then we'll jump into a time lapse. And farm built. Just like that. Now, I've already gone ahead and put the water in, because the schematic cannon did place down the farmland, but it didn't place down the water, so I shoved that in between clips here to make sure the farmland wouldn't turn back to dirt, so I don't have to hoe that. Although, I guess some places like there, I might have been not quite fast enough, so I will have to go ahead and fix that. Let's go ahead and plant some of the stuff here. Got a diagram off to my, off on my other screen, so I can plant these properly. Let's see, onions go here, and here. This forms a nice little pattern, so this is the way that I wanted to plant these in. Oh, I forgot the potatoes. I'll have to go grab those at some point. Some of these I'm gonna have to actually wait for them to grow before I can turn on the machine. Like, this, that was my only sweet berry. I gotta wait for that bush to grow so I can plant the rest of these along these lines of dirt. Then these two patches are gonna be potatoes, which I've forgotten the stuff for. Tomatoes are in the center patch here. So I can do just like that. And like that strip there for the sweet berries and the tomatoes, I'm gonna have to wait until I turn on the farm to plant that. Because while the machine is solid like that, it's not gonna work. And also, these are my only two melon seeds, too. And the pumpkins and melons are gonna be going down on this layer. This one's Silk Touch. So I have to break my way in there. Kind of try to stagger these. Get a few pumpkin seeds here. I'll get growing these off camera. Oh, and that center area is gonna be where we put rice, which I've already started growing. Like that. And then I can plant it in the water there. So this machine should be able to farm everything in the stuffed pumpkin recipe. Which reminds me, I haven't actually shown you the recipe for that. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, stuffed pumpkin recipe is this in a cooking pot. I need to still figure out the mushroom farm, too. I think I can just use a standard tree farm design, but use mushrooms instead. Although we are going to need some pods, though, to make sure we can grow these big and huge in broad daylight. But that shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, apart from that, this farms everything that we need for this. And then some, because the tomatoes aren't actually optional, as you can use potatoes or onions for that part of it too. And the melons are more about fueling our vegetable gun. I found out that they do slightly more damage than the pumpkins, so that'll be what we're using that for. It also allows us to craft some of the other melon-based food recipes. A lot of these ingredients are used in a lot of other stuff too, so it'll be good to have a farm for that. But I'll get this stuff growing off camera so we can activate the farm. In the meantime, I think I'll start working on the kitchen and on the restaurant slash tavern. I came up with the name the Rusty Cog, but I think that actually sounds kind of more like a tavern name than a standard restaurant, so I think I'm gonna run with that idea. So it'll be more of a tavern than a restaurant. Okay, I've got everything filled up in the farm right now. Of course, it starts raining as soon as I hit the record button, but what can you do about that? I went ahead and farmed a bunch of mushrooms as well while I was waiting for that. I've just been, like, planting it there, bone mealing it, and then chopping it down like that. Did that a few times, and it gave me a bunch. That's where all these mushrooms came with. So that should be enough for the recipe. And I got a sorting system installed here. It's gonna also turn the melon slices that it receives straight into melon blocks. At least that's the idea. Constructed our entire kitchen. Ultimately, these doors will open right into the tavern I haven't built that quite yet. I think the only thing we gotta do now is hope this thing works when we click this. And I hope everything starts rotating the right direction as well. Yep, it's moving. So it didn't overstress the system. I was worried that it might. But this is going the wrong way. This is also moving a lot slower than I was expecting it to. Okay, just got this hooked up. It is spinning the right way. So let's see. If I turn this up. Okay, good. That ought to speed up the rest of the mechanisms. Well, it looks like everything's coming through here properly. And it looks like the regular andesite funnels are able to keep up with the slightly faster rate that the rest of the stuff's coming through. Just make sure it's sorted correctly. Yeah, looks like it. I don't know where all of that came from. Have it sort those again. Must have just been down to a glitch because we turned it off and back on a few times. But beyond that, which I'm gonna have to... that little hiccup that I'm gonna have to monitor periodically here, I think the whole thing is working. It does that, flows into there. And then this side of the system sorts it. And it ends up over here. Well, we could make our first stuffed pumpkin now, but I think I'm gonna wait until we can make all of them, because we're gonna need to make more than one. Because the clockwork bug placed such a large order. We need 16 full bowls, and I believe we can only get 4 bowls for full per recipe, so I need a little bit more before we can make that. Okay, let's put this new kitchen to the test then. First thing that we've got to do is take this and take our knife. Yeah, turn into Chef Bug 9 for a second here. So first thing we gotta do is put that in the offhand. And then we can chop that. It gives us the straw and the rice. We take these bowls out of there because we need to serve it in a pumpkin. Now we need the berries and the onions. And the potatoes. So, some onions. We can start throwing stuff in the pot, I suppose. So that there. Ah, no, it's cooking the rice. Whoops. Cooked rice, that is. Oops. It'll put in something that wasn't part of a recipe first. But yeah, onions there and there. Mushrooms up there. At least since that bowl of rice is there, it's not going to try to craft anything else. Put the rice back there. Hopefully 5 will still be enough, even though it cooked that one. And now potatoes and berries. I had to do it this way because my inventory was full. So potatoes and the berries. Put that in there. And that there. Take the cooked rice out. Serve that. Stick some pumpkins in there. I'll use exactly 5. And now we wait. And that's these 5. Hopefully that's enough to fill up as many bowls as the clockwork bug wanted. Let's just eat the rice from that other thing that I did by accident. And these don't stack, so we gotta take them out one by one. And the way that you plate these, actually, and turn them into the bowls of stuffed pumpkin, because they can't be eaten like this. I'm right-clicking a bunch and nothing is happening. They have to be placed down first. And they're modeled like this. This is going to be really cool. We're going to be using this to decorate the tavern with. And what you can do when they're placed down is remove portions of it and fill up to 4 bowls off of 1. So, we'll just do this for the rest of them. And hopefully, we can fill up all of these 16 bowls. Yep. This is gonna be the perfect amount, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 bowls of stuffed pumpkin. And just like that, we've got what the bug wanted. And on top of that, we even have an extra, which I can use for decoration in the tavern. Or, I suppose that means I can actually try the dish, too. Yeah, I'll go ahead and stick this down here in the kitchen, and, I'm gonna sample one of these, make sure the Clockwork Bug will be pleased with this recipe. Okay, that was great. Ow. Oh wow, 5 minutes of that buff, as opposed to just... Get out of here, you and your 1 minute. Actually, I kind of want those. Fill that bowl back up, and, got 16 of them again. So, that is just great. And it's night. Well then, I think that was successful. I'm probably just gonna leave this thing running and never really turn it off. Which means I need to also, fix that. Because that was solid, it meant I couldn't do anything underneath it. So, while it was placed. So, now that it isn't, I can actually go ahead and place down crops and till the land there, too. So, I'll fix that thing up off camera. We'll get around to building the tavern, hopefully in the next episode. As well as giving the Clockwork Bug the 16 bowls of stuffed pumpkin containing all of those ingredients. And hopefully that will give him enough energy to make another potato for us to remember the next lost memory. But that's gonna do it for today's episode. So, if you liked it, please consider giving it a like. If you really loved it, consider subscribing. And, well, that's about it for me for today. My name is Spellbug9, and so long till next time.